This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by two comedians who are dads. And you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast. And
anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
High IQ basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. What's going on, bro?
I'm gonna go for like a quadruple double. I'm playing the game.
And welcome to episode 7 of High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. I'm Brian Isley. That's Raymond Byrd. Super producer Neil. What's going on, Ray?
What's good with you, baby?
Hey, nothing, man. We about to get right into it. Call this episode "'Tis the End Season." Quarter number 1, we're going to start with the semis were a couple days ago. Pacers advance, Lakers advance. They are both in the finals of the inaugural end season tournament. What's your take on the tournament so far, and who are you picking to win the first ever in season tournament?
I think with the end season tournament, I think initially, like, I didn't think much of it. You know, I don't think enough information was given about it in regards to how to follow it, what was the standing, what was the criteria to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I think that as it's going along, like, you know what I mean, I think it's been a win in regards to what its intent was. I think the intent was to get some high quality basketball early in the season when you typically wouldn't get it. And I think that's what you're getting. You're getting teams to really compete, you know, with the competition itself, but you're also getting, you know, it's $500,000 on the line. You know, you get dudes that really go play ball at a high level. You get in that playoff type atmosphere. You can tell Brian, who oldest player in the league, who he's got championship, he's got all the accolades, and he's taking charge. Like you could tell, like, it means something for these guys. So I think that, you know, it's the intent of it. It's accomplished everything that they could have possibly hope for it to accomplish in regards to the competition level. And I guess, you know, I can never go against Brian, so I'm taking the Lakers to win the whole thing.
Are you taking the Lakers to win going away like they did against New Orleans, or are you taking it in a tight game? Because, you know, I think the Lakers, especially Bron with his experience and all that, they've approached the knockout rounds with Game 7 intensity. Because they have that, Bron has that experience of Game 7s. He knows what a Game 7 is. He knows how to win Game 7s. I don't know how the Pacers, being so young and being so inexperienced, I don't know how they're going about it. I maybe they're going about it with the
college tournament,
house money,
NCAA tournament,
NCAA tournament type feel.
All them kids played in it.
Okay.
They've been in that one and done. This is what they grew up on. You know what I mean? Ain't many of them had much playoff success. So what they come from is, I was in NCAA tournament, and March Madness is you win or you go home. So I think for them, especially for them, like, you put them in a one-game situation, I don't care who the favorite. It could be Golden State with KD. You put any team in a one-game situation, anything can happen.
So, okay, you got the vets in the Lakers going with a Game 7 mentality, and then you got the youngest going with a one-and-done NCAA tournament type mentality. So it should make for an awesome game.
I expect a really good game. I think it could go either way because, I mean, they shoot the three ball well.
They shoot the three ball great.
They play with, like you, I think you said to me many times, like, they play with incredible pace, the highest pacing team in the league.
They're living up to their nickname.
So, and they got a ton of guards. You know, we went to the game against the Sixers. They got guard on top of guard coming off the bench. They have bigs that shoot the ball. They got, you know, Turner shoots the three well. Then they got two other bigs that come off the bench. They ain't got much size, but they come off the bench, and these guys can shoot the three as well. So anytime that the three ball comes into effect, if you're making it, you're going to give yourself a chance. And if you're making a ton of them, you could, you know, get the Lakers out of here. But I think I'm gonna take the Lakers because I think I was underwhelmed with what this Lakers team was. And I had high expectations for them.
Yeah.
But I think they're starting to come into form now. Like they got healthy and their size and length on the perimeter with all the defenders that they have. Cam is playing defense at a, I know they're not going to put him in that conversation of defensive player of the year, and maybe he doesn't necessarily deserve that type of accolade, but he's playing at an all defensive level. He should be one of those guys that are in consideration for a first or second team all defense. He's playing at a very high level. So I think I'm gonna take the Lakers because I think they match up.
Mm-hmm.
And if Brian comes out with the same intensity that he came out with last game, they didn't got nobody to deal with him. They ain't got nobody on the perimeter they can put in front of LeBron physicality-wise that's going to be able to slow him. The Lakers are going to have the advantage in regards to the bigs. I guess the wild card is knocking the threes down and Halliburton.
Okay. For me, I do think the in-season tournament is a win. You're going to have the naysayers. You're going to have the detractors simply because it's new. It's a new idea. It's a new concept. The NBA is 77 years old. Anytime you bring something new to something that's been around for so long, you're going to get pushback. I do think it's a win in terms of the stars came to play. And that's what people were complaining about. People say, I think you said it, the NBA season doesn't really start until Christmas.
Right.
November, early December, a lot of games that people aren't interested in, mainly because football season is getting into full gear. Playoff picture is starting to round out and everything. And, the NBA is such a long season, it's 82 games, that people really aren't concerned until football season is over. Unless you're a super duper hardcore fan of basketball, and then football season's over after week 8.
I mean, everything you're saying is 100% true. I think that you go back to the Lakers game was on Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Thursday night football was on. I know it wasn't a great game, but I didn't even realize until I woke up the next morning and checked on ESPN and seen that there was a game. That in-season tournament, those two games took over Thursday. You got Thursday football, and I didn't realize that there was a game played. I paid that no mind. I was totally locked in on in tournament games. So it's a win. You're taking some attention away from football because you got to compete with them on weekdays now as well. So I think it's ultimately a win.
And I think it's genius marketing on the NBA's part, and we'll get into that in the later quarters. But I just want to touch on that for a second because they covered everything. They left no stone unturned as far as marketing goes. The ESPN personalities, the TNT personalities merged. They had a damn collab like Marvel. Right. That's a Marvel DC type collab in terms of media personalities. You had Stephen A. Smith on Inside the NBA. That's crazy.
Right.
I know people stayed up to just to watch that. Then you had Shaq and Chuck on ESPN Countdown, and it was just hilarious, compelling television. You tuned in for the games, but you also tuned in for that personality mashup just to see how funny it was going to be. I think they did a tremendous job in that aspect. And like I said, you nailed it perfectly. You said that there was football on, and I was none the wiser.
Right.
I didn't care because I was just locked into these semifinal games, and the NBA just delivered, man. It's just fantastic to see that a new concept is being executed so well. Yes, we had questions about scheduling. Yes, there were complaints about the courts and all that stuff. But all in all, the job well done.
I think it gets better. Like you had this year, right? So they got lucky. You get the excitement of you getting LeBron in the championship game. So you have your marketing monster in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then on top of that, I think now people are aware of it now. You got a taste of it, and now you get to clean up a couple of things. You get to put a little bit more attention on, like I think they dropped the ball a little bit on the marketing throughout the tournament, giving out the knowledge of what's going on. Like we went to a game, and I didn't even know we were going to an in-season tournament game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they gave enough energy to, yo, this is what's going on. These
the-
are the standing. I don't think
The pool play.
the pool play.
Okay.
I didn't even understand how Phoenix got into it. I thought it was, you know, you got each pod and all those teams advanced, but you actually had wild card teams that got in as well.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little bit more information that they can share with us so we a little bit more aware of what's going on so we can follow a little bit better. And I think they'll do that more as they go along. But here's a question for you. You know, I think the energy behind the impact it has for whoever wins it, you know what I mean? What is, and I think we spoke about it off air where we were saying like, you under the notion that it's going to really impact people's resumes. This is something. This is going to be a notch underneath your belt.
Yes.
And I think my thoughts would be, I think that, you know, like in season tournament, right? Indiana wins it. Indiana ain't winning no championship, right?
No.
So then you get that attached to it. So Indiana wins it this year. They don't win the championship. And say you get 10 years down the road, and you know you done had 10 tournaments, and whoever's won this ain't won the championship. You're gonna have the intrigue of the money. Everybody wants the money. You know what I mean? Especially like you, I think you told me they looking to increase the money, and then, you know, they making $1 million prize. You know, dudes is really gonna chase that money. So you're gonna get the competition aspect. So you're going. It's here to stay. But I think that affects, you know, how it's viewed on your resume. If the teams winning it aren't the teams that's walking away with the ultimate championship, if it's not contributing to that, like I always that experience that we had in that in-season tournament, that tournament play, that got me ready for, we had a game 7 and in the finals, and you know I drew back on that experience as that's what got us over the hump. If it's not translating to that or contributing to that, I think it takes away from, you know, the impact it's going to have on the resumes.
And I do agree with that, especially if it's a continuous trend. If we're 5 years into this and the team that won the in-season tournament hasn't won an NBA championship, all right, then it diminishes the luster of winning the in-season tournament. It doesn't mean as much. But let's flip that. Let's say the next 5 years, the 3 out of the last 5 in-season tournament champions have won the NBA championship. Then we do give credence to and props to the in-season tournament for building that morale and galvanizing that team to where they kick it into another gear and wind up winning the championship. So it cuts both ways.
I think it matters. Regardless.
Okay.
Because, you know, I think how it affects your resume is one aspect of it, but on the other, the goal was to get these guys to compete at a high level, and that goal was accomplished. The goal in the
NBA is championship in June. Period.
Right.
The goal. No one's goal is to win the in-season tournament and that be that. The in-season tournament and winning the championship, I think the in-season tournament would be just icing on the cake because you got the $500K with that too.
It's a good consolation.
It's a great
It's a lot of dudes. It's a lot of dudes in the league and ain't about to get no hardware.
Somebody at the end of the bench
only
tonight.
One champion.
Yeah, right. Somebody at the end of the bench tonight is going to double their salary.
Somebody on a 2-way contract is about to have their life changed. It's somebody at the end of somebody's bench that you don't know, you don't ever see play, and next year he might not make an NBA roster. He might be overseas, and this is going to change his life.
He gonna be balling out in DR.
DR, right?
That's where he gonna be playing next year. He gonna be playing. He gonna be in the Dominican Republic next year, balling out. He gonna have wild pesos.
Right. So I mean, I think it's a win, regardless. You know what I mean, we getting basketball at a high level in early December before Christmas, so we win it.
And when's the last time that's happened?
Rarely. They save the big games for later on in the season.
Right, like you get the big games in Christmas, and those a lot of times, and we've talked about this all the time. Nobody, because nobody played.
Yo, you know, I love Christmas basketball. I didn't watch Christmas basketball last year at all.
He's a huge fan of Christmas basketball.
I'm talking about, we having the festivities. I'm telling everybody, whatever we doing, Game started here.
I gotta get home.
If this ain't wrapped up by then, you count me out. Because
I don't even bother with any of that. I don't care about your festivities. I'm at home. I'm watching the games.
Right.
Those like for the past decade? Well, since I've had kids, which is 14, 15, going on 15 years now, that has been my Christmas present.
Look, the peak, Cavs,
2016.
Golden State. Yo, like that rivalry, that finals is the greatest finals ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what nobody say. That
I
is
agree.
the greatest final. That 7-game series against Bron, Curry, and that 73-9.
Right.
70. That's the greatest finals ever. And that Christmas game might be the greatest Christmas game ever. The
It's
first
not-
one.
it's not
the
might
first
be.
one when KD got there. That one was
First
crazy.
night, yeah, December 25th, 2016. Go watch that game. But the quarter number 1 is done. We tied?
The disrespect is crazy, man. I thought I was gonna be up like 20-4. Like it's crazy out here, man. What I gotta do? What I gotta do, folks? Y'all leave a comment under let them know they doing me dirty out here. I told you know.
Let me know how I should score this, because it seemed like a very nice, agreeable conversation.
Yo,
you guys
it
were
was
both
very
crushing.
agreeable.
It was
Yeah.
very nice.
Give him your tank top. You give him your Brian Byrd hoodie. Exchange joints at the end of the evening.
Like they exchange jerseys?
Like the the referee and this guy you exchange. Yo, do that, man, because I don't know what I.
Considering the heated debate that we had last week, that was very tame. It was
Shout out to me, man, for grinding through this, man. Shout out to me, man. I'm going against the odds, and I'm still performing at a high level.
You Shannon Briggs now? Shouting out yourself?
Yo, shout out to me, man.
Shannon
All this
Briggs over
adversity
here.
I'm going
Great if
through,
you did it in the
man.
third person. Yo, Ray, shout out to you, man. Like,
That's crazy. You deduct points for that. You can't do it. This guy over here, Barry Horowitz over here, patting
Listen,
himself on
man,
the
it's a
back.
lot of adversity right now, man.
We're headed into the second quarter. LeBron in the semifinals, man. He's the only Laker in history to score 30 points
22
in
minutes.
23 minutes.
22 and a half minutes.
22 and a half minutes, so, round it up. Kobe's never done that. Kareem's never done
Crazy
that.
that Kobe never did it.
Magic never did that. Worthy never did. No one, Shaq in his prime, no one has ever done that in a Lakers uniform. The Lakers smoked the Pelicans by 44
And
points.
everybody picked the Pelicans to knock them off too. Let's throw that out.
Right,
there.
this
That's
was
not
supposed
just
to be
glaze over it.
Zion's.
Like it was.
This was supposed to be Zion's coming out party.
And he guarded. It was. And it. Oh, first of all, like let's talk about the two-way play. We don't. They don't give Brian enough credit for. Yo, he took Zion.
It
Like
took
that
him-
was the one matchup everybody was saying, like,
He took
yo,
him
I
out.
don't know who they got to guard Zion. And
Right,
Brian
right.
said, nah, let me raise my I got him.
I got him, and I'm gonna show y'all how obsolete his game
Yo,
is.
Blue. If you're watching, Blueprint is out. Like,
The scouting report is
This
out,
is how
bro.
you defend him and take him away.
This
Took
is
him
how
completely
this is-
away.
Took him completely
All
away.
impact plays, all that was dead. You didn't even know he played.
Facts. It just looks obsolete. It looks like you have to do a whole lot of refining in the summertime.
Yo,
but
he is
it's December.
Giannis without the motor.
Yeah.
Giannis without the motor, and I mean, because he's that dominant. You know, Giannis is so athletic, so gifted,
And Giannis
physically.
is 6'11".
Right, but Giannis ain't got a bag either, right? So Giannis is. I got to get to the rim. I got to get to the
Listen,
front of the rim. I have to get to the front of
Giannis
the rim.
can dance a little bit.
He do. Yo, listen, he got better. He got more of a bag than Zion does. Like he will cross you up. He will in and out you. He'll
Facts.
spin off you. And the physicality is probably on par.
And
And
he'll get wild at times.
right. But neither one of them can get anything outside of the paint, right? That's not their
Uh-huh.
games.
Hey, Giannis more so than Zion.
I think it's about the same. Giannis is, I think his outside the paint,
I don't-
shooting the basketball has
I
digressed.
don't think it's the same because they'll sag off Giannis. They will, but Giannis could string together some outside shots from time to time.
Every
They
balloon
completely sag off Zion. They're under the free throw line with Zion.
I think
that's
you can't
wild
guard.
disrespectful.
You can't guard Giannis like that because Giannis is going to, not because you. Oh my gosh, I don't want to give him no shots. Like it's because Giannis is going to still come.
He's going to take those shots.
I'm gonna still run through your chest. You know, what I mean that's the difference. Zion, maybe he was a little reluctant. I don't know what the case was.
He was shook.
But you sag off of Giannis. Giannis is taking that space up, and I'm gonna jump over top of you.
Or he's going to take those shots. Giannis is of the mindset of, oh, you disrespecting me? I'm going to prove to you that I can knock this shot down. Or I'm going to lose trying. Zion's not going to do that.
He can shoot the basket.
I agree. But the mentality is, screw you. I'm taking this shot.
He's more aggressive, and maybe because he got he has a bigger role with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
So he can't afford it. He can't come out there and take 10 shots. Giannis has to figure out a way to get his 20 shots.
Here's what Zion should take. Because you said Zion doesn't have a bag, right?
Right. He got the same bag as Giannis.
Okay.
The spin moves off your body in and out. Those subtle little things that get you to where you want to get. Ain't neither one of them dancing with the basketball.
I seen Giannis dance with the basketball.
Hell no. Giannis is not dancing with no bag. Giannis's bag.
You just agreed a couple seconds ago that he dances from time to time.
It's a standard duffel. Your standard issue duffels, no secret pockets.
There's no Michael Kors. You got the Michael Kors joint.
He ain't got no secret departments where you can squeeze anything special in there. I can fit my basketball, my little change of shorts in there. That's it. You can't get your cell phone in this bag.
My Puma bag. I got the basketball slot. I got the slot for my phone, got the slot for my water bottle.
Ain't got all that.
I got the spot for my keys.
He can fit he got a Dare bag. You know, when he was with the Dare, he had a little duff what there. Once you completed your joint, you could fit basketball, a pair of shorts
he ain't got the FUBU bag I had back in the day. The long FUBU duffel with all that joint cost $80.
Listen, both of them real standard package.
They should take a cue from Kawhi. Because Kawhi ain't have a bag. In the beginning of his career, Kawhi bag is crazy now.
Kawhi bag is crazy.
Kawhi, I see it was on full display yesterday.
Who they played? Utah.
They smoked. Kawhi had 41.
Did they?
And was dancing on them.
His bag different though. It's you know what's crazy about his bag? It's not.
It's basic.
It's real basic and it's real stick figure-ish. You know what I mean? It ain't Kyrie.
It's robotic.
Kyrie is
fluid.
It's fluid. It's a lot of body movement.
Kawhi's whole life is robotic though. So that's why his game is like that. But it's crisp, it's precise, it's clean, and it's efficient.
You can tell it's been worked on. It's been polished. You can tell he put the work on. His mid-range game is top tier.
Mm-hmm. That's who both of them should take a cue from him.
Neither one of them when I heard that kind of game. So
I'm just saying, if they don't have a bag. So you look at Kawhi. Kawhi was no bag at all. He can only dribble right. It was just standard. Like he didn't have range on the jump shot. The mid-range game wasn't even like that. He's improved dramatically offensively.
Facts. But back to what we're saying, like we're talking about Brian, and I think he's playing at an incredible level. Like we can't give him enough praise for the longevity and being able to sustain this play at this high of a level. And you walked into that game and you got Pelicans got nothing but young boys. Zion's 23. LeBron looked like the young. If you ain't know LeBron was entering year 21, you'd have thought he was 23. You know what I mean?
Is that a testament to him or an indictment to the rest of the league?
I think that I don't know if it's in there. I think it's one of those things where we both said it before, right? Brown was here. And maybe he has come down to here, but he just came down to where y'all at. You give Bron 2 days rest, and he is as good as anybody in the league. Mm-hmm. You can argue, is Giannis the best player in the league or Joker or whomever. If Bron with 2-3 days rest is as good as anybody in the league. Okay. Anybody.
I think people like Stephen A. He said it's an indictment on the rest of the league, and I think that's like a backhanded compliment, saying that he's only this good because the league isn't the other superstars in the league aren't taking things as serious as LeBron. He is giving LeBron his props, but I think it comes with a backhanded compliment saying that the other players aren't taking it as serious or not as good. Like it's a drop off in the league because Bron is still great at 39 years old.
I think it's more it's more of a compliment because, like I said, like the expectation is no way in the world this guy who is about to be 39 years old in year 21 has played more minutes than anybody. It's no way that he should be able to play at this level with you guys who are a lot younger and have less miles on their bodies, right? But I think it's the testament that you're dealing with something different, something we ain't never seen before.
But should he just leave it at that?
Fact. I mean, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So I guess on for face value, the expectation is once you get older, you have to have slowed down, right? But I think you dealing with something different. LeBron James ain't something we have ever seen before. You know what I mean? Like he is a 1 of 1. And I think that the level of play that he is playing at is just because he started out so far in a way better than everybody else that as he has aged and he has come down, I'm just on y'all level now. I'm just on y'all at year 21, about to be 39. I'm on the same level as you guys. Maybe I'm not as good as I was. You compare me to what I was, you can see the drop off.
Yeah.
But if this guy just came into the league today, you'd be sitting here saying you're just one of the best basketball players in the world.
He's better than Zion. He's at 39. He's better than Zion at 23.
Yo, Doncic, who has a similar ball game to Bron, right? Similar body type in regards to height, anyway. Not the explosiveness that Bron has. Bron's better, and Doncic is nice.
You know how I feel about
He's
him.
nice, but Bron, and you take me game 7, you had a couple days off, and you say, who you got? I got Bron.
Again, this
I'm
just
fine
goes
with
back to first episode. Just go listen to the first episode. We hash this out. Every week he keeps doing
Neil's
better.
favorite episode. Episode 1.
The proof's in the pudding, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah, we got a lot of fans based off that episode. Change people's minds and hearts. And that's tough to do. Like I said before, that's very tough to do. To change somebody's whole mindset, especially when they're a Jordan fan their whole life. They don't watch Come Fly With Me 17,000 times.
You know what's crazy is I'm a Jordan fan. I got hundreds of pairs of Jordans at the house. When every level of basketball I played, I wore 23. 23 meant you was the best player on the floor, on your team. If you got to wear 23, that means you was the best player. I'm a huge Jordan fan. Bron's better, man. Bron's the GOAT.
I think that you don't have to be anti Jordan to say Bron's a GOAT, and you don't have to be anti Bron to say Jordan's a GOAT. I think that's where we get things all messed up,
Right?
And murky, when you got to discredit one to praise the other. But you said you got hundreds of pairs of Jordans. I don't think that has a damn thing to do with the debate. It's Jordan versus Bron, not Jordan versus Tinker Hatfield.
They bring that up though, don't they?
Like that never made sense to me.
You get in an argument with somebody about a debate about who's better. Well, you're wearing Jordans. How can you say that?
Jordan didn't make these shoes, people.
Right.
Tinker Hatfield designed the shoes, not Michael Jordan. I always hated that argument. I got on Jordans right now. I got on Jordans right now. LeBron James is a GOAT. I don't like LeBron James sneakers.
Right. Right.
It's just as simple as that. Well, that is the end of the second quarter. We are headed into halftime. We will be back after these messages from our sponsors. This is halftime, and halftime is sponsored by If You Know, You Know Trivia Games. This is a trivia game created by a great friend of mine and friend to the show, Saquon Gillette. If You Know, You Know is a 90s to 2020 hip hop and R&B trivia game is created by Saquon Bilal. As I said, it's Star Corner Production, Star Corner Games, and it's the game you never knew you needed. Guaranteed to have you singing, dancing, laughing, and reminiscing. You'll probably learn something too. In the most fun way ever. Is for ages 13 and up. Because you know, with hip hop, we have explicit lyrics. But yeah, if you know, you know. Trivia game, get it on Amazon and wherever games are sold. That is our halftime sponsor. And welcome back. This is the third quarter of episode 7. High IQ basketball. Ray is up 40-35. Quarter number 3. We touched on this a little bit in the first half. Adam Silver's tenure as NBA commissioner. I think we're in year 10. I think he took over in 2014 for the late David Stern. And in the 10 years that he's been commissioner, I think he's been moving the game forward. We talked about what he's done as far as he had a pandemic to deal with, COVID, the bubble, which was ran flawlessly. He's implemented the play-in
right
before the playoffs, and now the in-season tournament. You said all 3 were wins.
Right.
Care to elaborate?
I think that, you know, sometimes when you got a good product, right? Stern left him a great product. And sometimes you walk into a situation like, yo, don't mess it up, right? Or, you know, how can you improve on something that's kind of
like a quarterback with a great defense. Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, right. And, you know, he's found ways to improve on something that you thought couldn't necessarily be improved on. Like that in-season tournament, right? With the play-in. I started with the play-in. The play-in, you know, guys like LeBron, you know, the face of the league, he wasn't a fan of it. You know, he stood on it. You know, like, nah, this is here and it's here to stay. And it's turned out to be a successful, you know, part of the game now. It's gotten teams to stop tanking. It's made it exciting at the bottom. You know, you got because the last couple of years, you've had teams in the play-in that had championship aspirations. The team that last year, you had 2 teams in the play-in get to the conference finals. One of them get to the finals.
Yep.
So I think the importance of it is incredible. You know, you getting teams to compete throughout the season, right? You guys I think he is trying to make the full 82 games matter. And with the in-season tournament, he's doing that. You got a tournament in the middle of the season, you got a prize money, so you're getting guys to compete at a high level, which we talked about in the previous quarter 1, where guys are playing at a high level. Then you also got the play-in. You don't want to be in the play-in. You don't want to put yourself at risk of not making the playoffs. You want to have to play extra games. You want to get as much rest as possible so you can be healthy going to the playoffs. So I think it's trying to get these guys to play 82 games at the highest level possible. You know, you're going to have times when guys take games off, but you're trying to limit that as much as possible. And I think he has taken a already great product and made it better.
When David Stern took over in 1984 for Larry O'Brien, the league was in shambles. Tape delayed NBA finals. Everybody was on coke. It was just in a bad spot. David Stern took a model for marketing and advertising. A lot of people don't know this. David Stern took that model from Vince McMahon and WWF. David Stern took that, and what I mean by that is he took the idea of individualism, and we're going to market players. A lot of the sports leagues, they marketed the team. We're going to market individual players, and it's easier for the NBA because the NBA doesn't have face masks. NBA doesn't have we see their faces. They're more recognizable. So David Stern, and with the advent of cable television, more money for TV, these players get seen more, and Then comes Michael Jordan. Magic and Larry saved the league. Michael and David Stern took it global. 30 years go by. The NBA is the best it's ever been. David Stern retires, hands it over to Adam Silver. To your point, how the hell does Adam Silver make something better that's already went from on the brink of extinction to global success? Billions in dollars in revenue. Max contracts galore, TV contracts for decades and decades. How do you take something like that and make it better? I think he has. I think he took he made the game more competitive. To your point, he's making the entire season more competitive. When he took over, players were complaining about shortening. They wanted the season shortened. How about we shorten the season? He said, no, we're not going to shorten the season. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys incentive to play the full season. We're going to tweak things. We're going to make things more. We're going to make the beginning of the season more relevant. We're going to make the bottom feeders of the conference even more relevant, because now you got to worry about 10, 9, 8, and 7. You know what I mean? Everybody is involved almost in the conference at the end of the season.
Right.
So the beginning of the season is more relevant now. The end of the season is more relevant now for the teams that, in any other case would be going fishing.
Right.
So Adam Silver has done a tremendous job, and it doesn't hurt that there's as far as a talent standpoint goes, I don't think the NBA has ever been better.
I agree with that. And I think, kind of to piggyback off what you said, I think what he's also done is, like, you had to deal with the success, right? Mm-hmm. David Stern and Michael Jordan, like you said, it made the game global, right? So now the money's here. Players are getting paid $30 million and all that. So what comes with that? It comes a little bit of complacency from the players, where you get to push back on, well, we want to play fewer games. We're being judged by winning championships. So that's all that really matters. Not understanding that us as fans, all of it matters, right?
Right.
For us to get to the next level, all these 82 games, we have to market the game. All 82 games, every game matters, every week matters, not just the playoffs, not just the champion. The whole body of work matters, right? Mm-hmm. So he's had to deal with and matriculate over the success, right? So, like you said, he's come up with the in-season tournament. He's had to deal with we're successful as a business, right? And the players are, well, I'm making $30 million. What I need to go hard for every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now he's figuring out little things to get these guys to play harder. All right, the goal is the championship. All right, that's all that matters to you guys. Well, I'm going to make it harder for you to get in the playoffs. I'm going to make all these games matter for you to get in it. You want to win a championship, now I'm going to put a play-in there. The regular season games don't matter at the beginning of the season. I'm going to put an in-season tournament to force you guys to compete at a high level, because now I'm going to put some money on the back end. Money that matters, because I don't care if you're a max player or not. $500,000 for one game matters. So I think he has done an incredible job of furthering the game. And he's also, improved on what was already there. And he's had to deal with the success that was already in place.
What's more difficult? Taking something that's already successful and making it more successful, or taking something from the brink of extinction to making it global?
I think it's hard to say which one. I guess they have to be equal, because I think in Stern's defense, like, you get lucky and you get Michael Jordan. Because Vince McMahon got lucky and got Hulk Hogan. Right, you get lucky and because Michael Jordan wasn't supposed to be that. This is a guy who was the third pick in the draft. He wasn't the LeBron coming out. Well, we know he's going to be it. Like, this was, we know he can play, but we don't know. We didn't expect him to be able to carry the league.
Yeah.
And then you look back at the league, post Magic and Larry. who was it? It wasn't Clyde Drexler. That next guy, the guy to beat Michael Jordan, wasn't in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that guy wasn't there. So I think I'm not going to say his job was harder because I think it's hard to, like I said, the things that Adam had to deal with in regards to you already got a successful thing. You got players getting money. The hardest thing is to deal with success, to improve on success because it's already there. So I think they're equally difficult.
And do you think it's a byproduct of LeBron still being in the league? And how do you think he'll fare once LeBron hangs it up?
You like I said, you get lucky and you get Mike. You get lucky and you get LeBron because you had Kobe in there mixed in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would think Kobe would at some point in time had been the face of the league. Kobe was never the face of the league. Popular player, but never the face of the league. He got skipped over and became LeBron. You look in the league right now, right?
I don't like that, but it's true.
You look in the league right now, who's your face of the league? I can't see it being Wemby. You're not from here. You know what I mean? It was possibly supposed to be Zion because he had a crazy marketing train behind him coming into the league. He hasn't lived up to the hype
At all.
You look at the other really good basketball players, the SGAs, KD's on the tail end of his career. He's never been it. That guy isn't in the league.
Steph is on the tail end of his career,
right?
Even though he's still playing at a very high level,
right? But that next guy, isn't there. You have to get lucky. So I think they do take a hit when LeBron leaves because I think some people, and we spoke on it many times, people watch basketball to see LeBron win. I'm a fan, and I want to see him win, and I'm a hater, and I'm tuning in to watch him fail.
There's no in between.
No in between. So when you lose those guys, because there's some people only watching for that. You got to fill in that gap, and I don't know if you got that guy waiting. Is there more people
watching for just that than hardcore hoop fans? I'm a hardcore hoop fan.
We said it at the same time. I'm a hardcore hoop fan. I'm not going to be as engaged as I am when I watch every Lakers game. I watched every Miami game. I watched every Cavs game. I do not watch every Sacramento game. That's a good basketball team. I do not watch every one of their games. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think you do take a hit when he's not there. And does the league fall off? No. You know what I mean? It's enough there. It's enough. It's the model's there. You know what I mean? The model's there. They'll be fine. But I think you do take a hit when Bron leaves because his replacement isn't here yet.
It's impossible to replace a 101.
Mike was a 101.
That's what I'm saying.
And you found Bron.
And that was just perfect timing. It was just because Mike had left for the third and final time, and Bron shows up that same year, gets drafted number 1 overall, and it seemed like it was no. But from when Mike retired the second time, from 98 till 2000, there was a bit of a struggle, especially the lockout shortened season 98-99. Scoop Jackson told me a story that the NBA offices, once Mike retired, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to do their job because Mike did the marketing for them.
Listen, shows like this, right? There's a ton of these shows out here, right?
Yeah.
They lead off and end off with conversations about LeBron James.
That's 100% facts.
You got to fill in a big gap of your talking pieces when you don't have that guy to talk about in regards to him being on the basketball. He's still going to be around. He's not going to disappear, but he's not on a basketball court anymore. So your day-to-day conversation, and most of these guys don't want it. KD didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys don't want that attention. They complain with Westbrooks and all these guys. They hate the media. You know what I mean? The Kyries of the world. Like some of your best players aren't receptive to that attention that goes along with being that guy.
Very true.
So you're going to struggle to find who is next because they got to be good. They have to be great. They have to be transcendent. They have to be the next one, talent-wise. but then they also have to be receptive to everything that comes along with it. And you might have it all, because Kobe was all those things, right? Got in trouble. So you can't put it behind him.
Yeah. Facts. Well said. Because he did have everything.
Right. Kobe had all intelligent, all that, but he got in trouble.
Right. We're heading into the fourth quarter. We're going to switch gears a bit. We've been talking about the league almost this whole episode, but we're going to switch over to women's college basketball. My favorite current player. She's just a freshman, but she's taken the NCAA by storm. Her name is JuJu Watkins. JuJu has already broken records at USC. With her fourth 30-point game, she surpassed Lisa Leslie for most 30-point games by a freshman. At the start of the season, the USC Trojans were ranked number 21 in the nation. Fast forward a month later, they're ranked number 6. Defeated at 7-0.
I think you should lead off. You know her well.
I do. I've been a fan of her since her junior year at Sierra Canyon, and I think even with Angel Reese, even with Caitlin Clark, I think JuJu Watkins is the best player in women's college basketball as a freshman, and it's only going to get darker for the rest of the NCAA.
Darker.
It's getting dark already. She's unbelievably skilled, and for being a freshman, she's got to be one of the most poised basketball players I ever seen. Remember we were talking about Jalen Hurts a couple of days ago off air? How he never changes his facial expression.
Right.
Never. It could be 3rd and 25 or 1st and goal at the 1. His demeanor never changes at all. They just got smoked. His demeanor does not change. It's on to the next play, on to the next game. That is JuJu as an 18 or 19-year-old freshman in college. She's clearly put the team and the university on her back, which is their recruiting class is going to improve year after year just because she signed on the dotted line and came over there, made them super relevant, and they haven't been relevant since what? Since
Lisa? With Lisa went there, right?
Yeah. She is the real deal, and her game there's no holes in her game. Maybe you can nitpick about her, maybe on the defensive end, maybe, but her jump shot is clean. Her handle is superb. Her playmaking ability is crazy. Her IQ is off the charts. We've been loving women's college basketball for a very long time. We've talked about the Shamiqua Holdsclaws, the Candace Parkers, the Diana Taurasi, Sue Birds, all Aja Wilson, Brittany Griner, all these elite, Breonna Stewart, these elite, all-time great college basketball players. When it's all said and done.
You about to get disrespectful.
When it's all said and done, she will be at the top of the list.
All right, let me chime in. Let me chime in.
You knew I was going to go there.
Let me chime in. First of all, I've been following female college basketball for a while. And my favorite player all the time is Meek. Shamiqua Holdsclaw, Tennessee Volunteers. Meek was it. I ain't never seen a more complete basketball player than Shamiqua. And I'm not saying JuJu's not, but along with the talent, right? When you start nitpicking, you're talking about two players and talent-wise, they on par with one another, right? Mm-hmm. You start nitpicking with the winning and the stats, right?
Absolutely.
The accolades and the stats.
Agreed.
Meek got 3.
Meek got 3.
And Meek won her freshman year.
Facts.
So those are the expectations. You talking about walking away with GOAT status. That's where it starts. You got to win. You know what I mean? You got to win. Meek got 3 and should have had 4.
Should have had 4.
Should have had 4.
You know what? That's the basketball gods. because
They should have won the year before.
They shouldn't have won. They was 28.
But that's a great listen. I'm gonna tell you how big of a fan I was. Like I remember I had the VHS when they broke it down on the whole journey of that season. I remember the locker room with Pat screaming and yelling at him. Yo, Pat would be killing the team and praising Meek. But you said JuJu, her one flaw was maybe on the defensive end. Meek was a monster defensively.
Meek was a monster.
Meek didn't have the range that JuJu has. She had a range, but Meek was super.
It wasn't
Meek
harped
was
on
so
back then.
good.
I know what you're about to say.
So good. They had her on the cover of Source in a Knick jersey.
Cover Slam.
Cover Slam. In a Knick jersey. And you thought it was real. Not real as in her being on the team.
I
but
remember that.
it was real
I
as
still have that.
That she could have played in the NBA. I thought that she was good enough that she could have possibly made an NBA team. That's how tough I thought Meek was.
Yeah, in hindsight, she ain't have a chance in hell.
Maybe not. But I'm just saying, she was so good that when you saw that, you was like, man, the Knicks might want to make a call.
Here's how real it was.
The Knicks might want to hit her up.
Here's how real it was. When that cover came out, I had a subscription back then. When it came out, it came to my door. My dad's a Knicks fan.
Right.
He was pissed.
He was pissed? He ain't like Meek?
He didn't like the fact that they were considering Meek. Like, it was like you said, you felt like it was almost a real thing. He was like, absolutely not.
And maybe he was right. But listen, at that moment, I'm sitting here, they might get Meek, holler, Meek tough. And you got to think, this is the dogs.
The dog Knicks.
This isn't pretty run up and down basketball. This is grinding.
And and people actually thought, to the point where they put the cover out. I remember the mail that they got after that. And of course, you had people like you, like, yo, this is legit. She's really like that. And then you had people like, yeah, get the hell out of here, bro. Come on.
Listen, ain't no female playing in the NBA. I mean, the talent is the discrepancy is too large. But Meek was nice. And if you're saying JuJu can be considered better than Meek, and I don't even think Meek is really even considered to go. I think it's Taurasi, really.
It's been too far. It's been too far gone, and people have short-term memories.
But Meek, to me, college basketball, Meek won 3 chips.
Only hardcore hoopers remember Meek.
Meek was super nice. Meek got 3, and she kind of disappeared. She's not even involved in any kind of basketball
because she
anymore.
had personal issues that happened. But
3 chips. I don't know how many player of the year she got, but Meek was
think
her.
she had 4. I think the year that they didn't win, she was still player of the year.
They were incredible that year. They were undefeated. They were supposed to win it that year. But, but that's crazy. I mean, Lord, not just get off of JuJu, right? But just to talk about female college basketball, women's college basketball back then, like, it's popular now. But I think it was even more popular back then. Like with Tennessee,
I loved it. Tennessee,
you had Connecticut emerging into that conversation.
Connecticut,
I used to tune in crazy Tennessee, Connecticut games. Crazy.
I used to love Old Dominion.
Old Dominion was tough.
Tisha Pinachero.
Yeah, Pinachero. Yeah.
I used to love that. That's how deep I was into women's college basketball, and you talk about this all the time. The UConn stranglehold on the game is done, and there's more parity now.
They hurt the game. They hurt the game when Tennessee disappeared, and you didn't have the recruiting battles were over. Because that's what it was. It was, are you going to go to Tennessee or are you going to go to UConn? And then it just turned into everybody going to UConn. And you had a couple players sprinkled here and there. Mm-hmm. But the best of the best with UConn was getting everybody. Mm-hmm. To the point where they won over 100 some straight games.
Yes.
3 or 4 straight national championships. Yes. Where I'm talking about, like, it wasn't even competitive. Like, you're winning by 40, 50 points over the number 2 team in the country. Like, that was bad for college basketball.
Two things made sure that that stopped.
Griner.
Well, okay, 3.
Griner was the first piece.
Griner. Della Don went there and then she left.
All right, I'm gonna say Griner was the first one because Della Don going to Delaware didn't affect winning because she went to Delaware and Delaware wasn't in the mix even as good as she was.
Remember when they went deep in the tournament?
They had her senior year.
Yes,
they had a run, but she didn't affect. She didn't
shift the balance of power. The balance
of power didn't change at all.
Right.
Griner affected the balance of power, even though she only got 1. She affected the balance of power.
Agreed. I think Della Don leaving took something away from, because UConn would have been, you saying they won 100 straight games, it was laughable. It would have been they would have won 150 straight games had she stayed. Facts.
So it did affect things, but Griner took 1.
Griner took 1.
Should have had 2.
And then another factor, Dawn Staley going to South Carolina.
Dawn Staley, but you didn't even, I don't think you, in the moment, you didn't know it was going to affect. You knew off top, Griner going to Baylor was going to affect.
Yeah, true.
Winning.
True.
Because all of a sudden, now Baylor has the most dominant, best player in the country.
Yeah, true. But I think South Carolina has 2.
She got 2, yeah. She should have 3.
Should have 3. South Carolina couldn't shoot last year. Worth a damn. It was all Zions on that team.
All year recruiting and you ain't got no guards.
No shooting. They rectified that this year.
A year late.
They
still number 1 this year.
They still number 1. I think by the end of the season, depending on the rest of USC's schedule.
So you think JuJu get one? She in the mix? She in the mix?
I think you get her in the dance.
She gonna be in the dance. She never stepped in the country.
You get her in the anything. She's that good.
She getting one? Meek got one freshman year.
Don't be surprised if
it can't be one and done. The next GOAT.
I am.
So
don't be surprised if they win it this year.
It done? Yes, no.
Don't be surprised if it happens.
Miss me with I don't know.
I didn't say I don't know.
You saying miss me if it yes or no?
It's a tall task.
Meek's the GOAT.
Okay, I'll go out on a limb. Yes.
The answer is no, everyone.
Yes, they
listen, viewers. USC is not winning the national championship game.
He wants me to say USC is going to win the national championship in JuJu's freshman year. Fine, I could do that. That's how much confidence I have in JuJu as a player.
They won't see the Final Four.
All right,
they won't get to the Final Four.
This is why we record these.
And I do believe she is the best player in the country. I do. I agree with you there.
You hear that?
But
right?
I don't know if I want to put her in a conversation with Meek.
That's because she's a freshman.
Meek was a freshman and Meek brought it home.
That's because we wasn't calling Meek the GOAT after her freshman year though.
We weren't, but I'm just saying you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And Meek started at the top of the totem pole.
Word.
So if you're saying she is going to surpass Meek throughout 4-year career,
I believe it, barring injury.
If she don't get it done this year, you're saying that next 3 years it's got to be flawless.
Word, I'm cool with that. I see the signs. Listen, we've had conversations before where I've told you way in advance, yo, this player going to be this. This player going to be that. This player going to be this. And every single time it's come to fruition.
Every time. That's what you want to say. Every time?
Every time.
You want me to give you an example that you were wrong?
No.
All right. All right. Because I got an example.
No, you can't because we're out of time. So we're going to go into the OT. Oh, Ray, you won. Congratulations.
I'm calculating.
You still calculating?
Sorry.
Okay. While you're calculating, I'm going to go to last week. We had a discussion that got a little heated about, I guess, manhood in a sense. Is a man sassy if he doesn't know how to change attire. I don't think in terms of whatever. That's neither here nor there. The people have spoken. I told Ray this the other day. He doesn't really like it. And I'll quote, "I don't like this." But hey, man, this is why we do this, to garner attention and to garner views and more subscribers. And hats off to you, because you came up with this topic for OT and it's garnered us a whole lot of attention. What's your thoughts on that before I grab these quotes?
Listen, man, you're always gonna get opinions. You know what I mean? When you put your opinion out there, you going in return, you're gonna get other people's opinions, right?
Right.
I don't think, you know what I mean?
That's what we signed up for.
I don't think we overstepped no bounds and said nothing crazy. Just, you know, at the end of the day, it's just an individual's opinion about something. So, you know what I mean? I don't want nobody to take nothing personal by it, or like we calling out any particular individual or any groups or anything like that. It's just our particular opinions about a particular topic.
One viewer said, and I quote, "So we're calling men sassy now in 2023?"
I think it's, I mean, first of all,
think
the other part
offended.
of it is just, it's a humor part of it, right?
Yeah.
We joking. We may
I've
having
been
fun.
joking for 30 years.
We having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't our topic. It was something that we picked. We saw that was on circulating on social media, which I'm pretty sure many of y'all saw as well. So we just saw something that was trendy and brought the topic here because it interests us. We wanted to give our opinions about it. So it wasn't us calling, I wasn't calling Brian sassy. It was just about the particular, you know, that's what the topic was.
No, he called me sweet, but whatever. I digress.
You still do need to change the topic.
Another quote was, "Both of y'all look sassy to me."
That joke was funny. I told my wife that. I was like, yo, they said we both look sassy.
Another quote was, "This whole conversation is sassy."
Yo, we can't talk. Come on, y'all see. I know in y'all household, y'all having this same debate with one another. I'm pretty sure you go down your friend list and you go down your news feed. This popped up, and you may have left a comment or you had an opinion.
Listen, bro, we got over 10,000 views on that discussion,
right?
And the people spoke out. Another viewer said, "Put some bass in your voice." I don't know who
you gotta be Cat. You know what I'm talking about? When Cat when he talking, and then when he give an interview, it's two different voices.
or Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's persona voice and his real voice. His real voice was wild deep.
Was it? What? What?
Yeah.
You knew that too?
He would be like, yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, everybody," like he'd be doing that,
Right.
and he'd get all be like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah, it'd be like
What?
crazy.
Which one was real?
I know.
His real voice, not the persona voice. His
That's
persona voice was
crazy.
wild high, right?
Wow.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I did not know that. I don't know why you would choose that. I don't know why you would choose that.
What, the high pitched voice?
Yeah, I don't know why you would choose that.
Because it's more, I guess it's friendlier, it's less threatening. I've heard that before.
What?
If you notice, sometimes my voice gets a little high, so I don't feel like, I've heard that before. A deep voice is like off-putting. It's
Man, you're a man. It's supposed to, I mean, I don't know.
yeah, word. I agree.
Right. Do you think it has something to do with his career being so long, and we knew him as a kid that
That he
he
just
kind of
kept his
thought,
kid voice?
yeah, like he thought that was endearing?
Absolutely.
Maybe, yeah, right.
100%, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
But he had to hear the rumors, right? You know what I mean? Like, that little voice kind of played into the rumors. You know, that's what I'm taking from, like,
Yeah.
yo, if you really sounded like this, all this is going on about people's opinion about you. If you sounded like more like a man, I don't think that would have been the case.
I don't think Thriller would have did 40 mil if he sounded like this.
I mean, you sing how you sing. You sing however you want to sing. How you talk is how you talk.
But there's marketing to it as well. He came off it that hi, I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I got monkeys and kids coming over to my crib. Like he was a friend. It was friendly.
I don't know about that.
Listen, the proof is there. He was the biggest superstar ever.
Right, I get what you're saying, and maybe you're right, but I didn't. I don't know. I think that you would. I would think that you would choose the other voice over that light voice because everything that people were saying about you.
Like he actually sounded like when he did the chum-on. Like when he did, that's what he sounded like normally.
Right,
and then everything else was high pitched. You wanted more chum-ons.
When Sega Dreamcast, they came out with Ready to Rumble.
Right.
Remember Mike? They had a Michael Jackson character on that game.
Okay.
He voiced that character in his real voice.
And I don't remember. I don't remember the voice, but did it sound like a man?
It sounded like me.
Wow. Yo, I never knew this story at all.
Does it sound like a man? Listen, bro, his voice is deep, man.
Listen,
that's hilarious, right?
I don't know what took place behind closed doors.
Look, Michael Jackson's deep voice revealed.
He did an interview. He did something with it.
Let's see what this is exactly. So yeah, don't draw attention to it yet, but I just want to pull up and maybe we can get a little bit of it. What is this? I want to get pulled off YouTube.
Yeah, Mike is crazy for that.
You guys won't be able to hear. Well, here, I'll put it in the studio. I'll put it in the studio real quick. And then let's just listen. See. Did you even hear just that part?
I saw her.
Did you hear just that? Just that little part.
He switched it.
Yeah. You hear it?
Michael Jackson's momentary lapse in his speech.
Wait for it.
Revealing a much deeper.
There's like a voiceover bullshit. Dang it. I almost.
Theme floating around the.
What is this voiceover from this British guy?
Than what we have expected from the King of Pop.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many people got to hear that, John. Did he use that off camera?
Yeah.
The regular voice?
Yeah. I forget who was telling the story, but he was in a session with someone and he used his persona voice the whole time. And then when they left, he turned to someone and said, I thought the motherfuckers was never gonna leave.
Mike cursed?
Like that.
What? Mike cursed?
Mike cursed. Mike said titty. Mike said a whole lot of stuff.
What?
Mike was a guy. Mike was a
Mike
dude.
Can't come off like a guy
because
bro.
He had an image to maintain. But there's been moments where Mike was a whole dude.
Mike came off real fragile, like.
I seen the video when Mike was in the limo and the mob was coming towards the limo and Mike was looking out the window like, look at her. Mike was a wild boy.
Yo, it's throwing me off.
You know me.
You're a Mike fan.
I'm a huge Mike. Nah, that's my guy. So all that stuff, yeah, man. I know about it. It's wild that you ain't know he had a regular speaking voice.
Why do you have a regular speaking voice? That's why I ain't know. Why do you have a regular speaking voice?
It's weirder that I know.
Yeah. I ain't got. Yo, this is the voice I use all the time, fellas. This is the only one I got.
No, and listen, when things got spirited, your voice went up a couple octaves.
Yeah, because we you know what I mean? I get what you're saying, but
that's what I mean. Like,
it wasn't intentional.
Changed.
This is, you know what I mean? I'm using this regular joint I got.
Nah, it's deepened since this conversation started.
This the regular joint I got.
Just to shore up your manhood.
Shore him up a little bit. Mike out here, I ain't movie crazy like Mike. This the one the Lord gave me. This the chords he gave me.
It's the chords. It's the chords
he gave me, man.
Yeah, so that person told us to put bass in our voice. So here it is. Here's the bass that you wanted. One of our former high school classmates like chimed in about the equality part.
Who?
And Sharice.
Okay.
And she said that there's no such thing as far as from an anatomy. Now this is her saying this from an anatomy standpoint. Like, what are we talking about? There is no equality. It's impossible to be equal. There is no equality.
Facts. That's what I was saying. That's facts. It's no way possible. There's no way you can expect a woman to all be. There are some anomalies, right? What's the wrestler John?
China.
You got some of those out there.
How did I know that was the particular one you were talking about?
You got some of those out there, a little stronger than most, but the average woman, the average guy, it's a big difference.
Agreed, 100%. That's why when I kept saying why in that one clip, I just kept saying why, because that's what I wanted you to say. I wanted you to answer that. That's why I want. But she answered it for us, and that's I shout out to her because she was engaged. Like she saw that, she was like, "Oh, I'm on it. I'm gonna tell y'all why."
Right.
And that's her opinion, and I guess we both agree with it.
Right. I definitely agree with that. Like I said, I mean,
yeah. But for the most part, I got flamed.
As you should have.
I got flamed.
As you should have.
So it is what it is. You know me, I'm fine with it.
Listen, man, it's funny.
It's
no,
hilarious.
neither one of us take none of that. Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought when I told you, I thought you were taking it back. I thought it was like, it's like, yo, I don't like that. I don't like all these comments.
Dude, I don't like all that attention, like, being that ain't my way. But it's funny. I mean, I'm cool with all that. We probably two of the worst when it comes to cracking jokes about people. So I could take a joke.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. So yeah, don't dish it out if you can't take it. So I'm fine with it. This is what we signed up for. We decided to do this show. We knew eventually something was going to pop, and it did. And we got a lot of opinions on it. So I guess that's a good thing. That's what we wanted right now. So, and with a minute to spare.
With a minute, listen, man, it's probably the first time we ever was on schedule.
Ray's got 2 wins. Brian's got 4, and
unofficial.
That's official.
It's not.
What the hell are you talking
one draw?
About? Official. Last week's was under review.
No, it's not.
I looked at the comments.
I've been deep into it. I mean, so much research I had to do. Don't even get me started. I had to rewatch every single one. I got a chalkboard. It's nuts over here.
So Ray won this game 83-82. He's won this episode. As Neil said, the record is now 2 wins for him, 4 for me.
You got to use my joint.
And the time I got to do, you're less than.
That sounds crazy.
As far as the wins are concerned, you know exactly what I meant, man. Come on, I'm sorry that I didn't mean to offend at all. But that's been episode 7 of High IQ Basketball. Tune in tomorrow where we have episode 8 of High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd for Raymond Byrd and super producer Neil. I'm Brian Isley, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. The old saying goes, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, there's a new saying for the new generation. You either grind or starve. Established in 2015, Grind or Starve Apparel has become the premier fashion brand for today's hustlers, entrepreneurs, and CEOs in the making. The online store provides groundbreaking styles and innovative designs for today's go-getters, proving that you can grind and look good at the same time. Grind or Starve has several collections to choose from. The new GOS Luxury, Designer, Location Apparel, rep your city to the fullest, Fitness, Barber Edition, Stylist Edition, and Baker's Edition. Go to gosapparel.com. The next time you need a hoodie, polo, G-shirts, bags, all made with the best quality materials. Grind or starve. The choice is yours. Go to gosapparel.com.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is comedian Neil Wood and
Adam Nutter.
we can't do it like that. You have to sound like a human being. This cut, that's insane. Because I'm realizing how little you're talking.
Adam Nutter.
I could just take, if you just want me to, honestly, you know what we need to do is we just need to get that clean.
Adam Nutter.
And then I'll just pop it in wherever I need to. But
Adam Nutter. Let's do that.
come listen to the Cult of Us podcast. That's our promo.
Adam Nutter.
A Drop Tent Media Network podcast. Go to droptent.com or search Cult of Us podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
I'ma have to tie my Nikes for this one. I'ma go for like a quadruple double. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. If fortune favors the bold, that's why I keep on just winning. If timing is just the essence, then I'ma keep on just spending. I'm worth a couple of bucks, shout out to Antetokounmpo. Dropping in b-ball facts that's seeping into your glue buds. Advising like Tony Kukoc, getting into it mucho. Directing all these plays like my name was Tony Russo. Ballin', that's how we do, so I'm going in for the win. Penetrate the lane like we way back in 2010. I'm stomping straight in my Timbs. The basics just like I'm Tim. I'm dunking on you haters. A poster is where you live. It's magic all in my wrist. Steph Curry, we going swish. It's showtime like the 80s. Basketball is where we live. I'm highly gifted and skilled. I'm going in for the kill. The game is on the line. Raymond Byrd, hey, yo, what's the deal? Pass it to Brian Isley. I bet he probably surprised me. High IQ basketball is a show and it's not a hobby. Playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.